So you probably can feel, if you're sitting at your desk, you can probably feel both feet flat on the floor. Arms are in your lap, shoulders are aligned with the hips, and the ears are aligned with the shoulders. And imagine your spine is a beautiful string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. And just lengthen your spine, putting some space in between your vertebrae. Excuse me. And then go to the crown of the head and release any tension there. Just allow your face to soften, the throat, the back of the head, the neck, and allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat. Allow your chest to open. Relax the belly and all of your limbs. Notice the sensation of your breath, whether it be in your, around your nostrils, chest cavity, or belly. And be aware of sound in your environment, something that might distract you, so that somehow, although we're in autumn, the crickets have got super loud as soon as the sun sets. So just allow all the sounds to be there and trying not to follow with the mind. And then check in with yourself this evening. And what kinds of thoughts are going through your mind? Where are you traveling to with your mind? So trying not to follow all the stories and all the bits and pieces that are going on in your head, because some of it may not be true, particularly projecting into the future. Try and put some space in between your thought. And try and be objective about what it is you see in there tonight or this morning, whichever time zone you're in, this afternoon. And then again, all the people of our life, our loved ones, these people we have so much, fondness for, love for, are strangers. And then those ones we don't like so much. So, I always think of on the freeway, because so often I'm like that car. But inside that car is a person, a human being, with love and drama and trauma and grief and joy and happiness. There's a little universe of a person's world or a family's world in every single vehicle that we pass by. These are our strangers, and we have, just very few seconds with them. And all these people, they're just the same as you and me, though. They all want to be happy. They don't want to suffer, and they all have the same capacity for an enlightened mind. So we think we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all the sentient beings. So we start by thinking there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. And we create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it by creating positivity instead. And we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason for regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we might experience. We know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So we think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then we think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to this power of reliance. So we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor. And because he has these methods that we can use to purify. And we're not needing Buddha necessarily to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth, and his hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart. The left is underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we've ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have particularly compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result in suffering for them sometime in the future. So you make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings and think, I must purify for their sake. And then we come to the power of the remedy, and this is actually the medicine, doing the practice of purification using, mantra. The word mantra means mind protection, and then visualization. So you imagine we start with a body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely, and it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida meboa, Situkaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpiata sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, zipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya setva a hum pe, vajrasafa samaya manupalaya, vajrasafa dina patita, Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me, sitam triyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe, vajrasafa samaya manupalaya, vajrasafa dina patita, Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe, vajrasafa samaya manupalaya, vajrasafa dina patita, Trida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe, vajrasafa samaya manupalaya, vajrasafa dina patita, Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Then be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, quite forcefully, and it overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can imagine all the gossip, all the harsh speech, all the useless speech, all the sort of like inappropriate speech, and not saying the right thing at the right time, and lying and talking about people behind their backs. So much we do with our speech. And imagine all this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya, Vajrasafa dina patita, Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, sawasidi mebiyata sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe, Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya, Vajrasafa dina patita, Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, sawasidi mebiyata sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe, Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya, Vajrasafa dina patita, Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, sawasidi mebiyata sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe, Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya, Vajrasafa dina patita, Jida meboa, Situkai meboa, Sipokai meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mempiata sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasafa Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkai Meboa Sipokai Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Trita meboa, Sitokai meboa, Sipokai meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi membi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Trita meboa, Sitokai meboa, Sipokai meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi membi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech, including yourself, and also what you're putting out to the world in terms of emails, letters, and social media, of course. And the next is the purification of our mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately now sends powerful beams of light from his heart. And this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So, as instantaneously as when you walk into a room and flick on a light switch, the light comes, dark. You walk into a dark room, the light comes in. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment, neediness, bitterness, grudges, jealousy, depression, anger, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Drida meboa Situkai meboa Sipokai meboa Anorakta meboa Sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Drida meboa, Situkai meboa, Sipokai meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita, Drida meboa, Situkai meboa, Sipokai meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita, Drida meboa, Situkai meboa, Sipokai meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita, Drida meboa, Situkai meboa, Sipokai meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum ha 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 ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita, Drida meboa, Situkai meboa, Sipokai meboa, Anorakta meboa, Sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Ambhadrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkai Meboa Sipokai Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mepiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified, and think that there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar. It fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. So this is all happening at the same time. The nectar's flowing down, pushing out all the negativity of the body, then flowing up, pushing out all the negativity of the speech, and then the light coming and kind of blasting all the delusions. So then they're all gone, the subtlest imprints gone. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So now feel you're completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve, and this is the fourth and final step in the purification process. And it's a really crucial one. And this is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. So without this, we're just going to keep doing the same old things over and over again. So this determination, this aspiration to refrain from harming is like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions. So rejoice in your efforts for coming along tonight, because, everyone here has something going on in their life. And for some of you, it's extremely late at night. So really rejoice. It takes effort. And then think about something you'd like to work on, keep working on, some little habit. And then this determination to refrain from harming gives us, sense and direction, kind of supports us to change. So imagine Vajrasattva's delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on a little bit on emptiness. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you might understand or appreciate this idea of emptiness, place your mind there for a moment and think, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So you can just say that over and over again. There is no I, creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So emptiness, really, when they talk about that, it really is, and I'm just mouthing words here because I don't have any insight into emptiness, maybe a slight understanding after all these years. But you think about everything in your environment, it doesn't really exist from its own side. It doesn't exist the way we think it does. The way I view a flower is different to the way our dog here, Bodhi, views a flower. The way I smell something is very different to the way Bodhi smells something, because she has far greater, smell receptors, olfactory receptors on her, nostrils than I do. So her experience of the world is very different to mine. So this is what I understand. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created from doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And so then let's just do our chanting the names of Manjushri. The splendid master, donning Vajra garlands, adorned with Vajra-fashioned ornaments, with booming voice, his laughter crying, ha ha, 6-syllabled, producing Vajra rumbles. Great Manju Ghosha sounds supremely loud, a roar unique unto the threefold world, the voice that reaches every bound of space, preeminent amongst all voice endowed. 8. The wisdom of discernment. He is a being who's fully realized truth, reality, its peak and selflessness, supreme in propagating emptiness, unspoken, teaching both the deep and vast. All right, everybody, let's have a strong wish for His Holiness to live long, and for the swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and then for all of your own individual teachers. All right. Lots of love. I will see some of you tomorrow morning. Okay. Thank you so much. Nice to see you all. And sleep well. Have a good day, wherever you are in your day.